More Americans laid off from their jobs. More Americans about to lose the house. Hey everybody, Scott Walters. Buckle up and strap in. I got a hard-hitting pull, no punches, no sugarcoating it, no rainbows or sunshine. I'm just going to give it to you and give it to you straight. We got a good one to unpackage today, unless you work for Google, Microsoft, Amazon, just to name a few. Folks, this is getting very, very serious. Now, we're going to boil this down to a very digestible piece of information as we raise awareness, ring the bell, and sound the alarm, read between the lines, and look between the cracks of the U.S. economy and the U.S. housing market. We're seeing this, right? Congratulations to anybody that's awake right now. Acknowledge the elephant in the room. Most people are completely unaware of what we're talking about. How do I know that, you ask? Because that was me in the last recession. I had no idea. I heard the word recession. I heard the word downturn, but I didn't understand the waters we were about to swim in. Boy, I wish I had heeded to that warning. Now, I don't regret the past because what I've learned from it, but I certainly don't want to go repeat it over again, expecting a different result. That would be the definition of an insanity, doing the same thing over, expecting a different result. And there's a lot of people in the industry this time trying to sugarcoat it, telling you that this time is different. Insane. You're right. It is different. It's worse. So the latest report now, apparently our poor millennial tech worker, white collar wage earners over at Google, they're now announcing their round of layoffs, 12,000 workers. Poof, that's just their first round. Can you imagine working at Google right now and hearing that you are now at risk of losing your job, or you got that call? Amazon, 18,000 workers laid off. First time in their company history. They did layoffs during holidays. They're usually hiring. They all drank the economic Kool-Aid. Microsoft, we're scratching on and on. Hundreds of thousands of people are getting laid off as we speak, friends. This is not good. Why, you ask? Well, of course I'm going to tell you. Blue-collar wage earner service sector employees are renters. White-collar wage earners are home buyers. Who bought in the height of the euphoria? Well, all these tech giants that did mass hiring. Didn't they know this was going to happen? They say they didn't. They didn't know. They thought the economic stimulus would spill over into the economy once the crisis was over. That there'd be a new platform, a new equilibrium, a new status quo that everybody was going to live in. Utopia. The free money effect would last forever. People drank the economic Kool-Aid. So now we're seeing this massive wave of layoffs. Hundreds of thousands, friends. And this is the scary part for me personally. I don't know, maybe I'm all alone over here. We're just getting started. This is round one of layoffs. And we mentioned Microsoft, Google, and Amazon just because they're big companies with some brand recognition, polarizing, trending topic. But listen, this reaches deep. We're just scratching the surface. So as this first round of layoffs has already evaporated hundreds of thousands of jobs of the demographic who went out and bought houses at the height of a super bubble, and the U.S. savings rate is in the tank, and U.S. debt is going through the roof, meaning people are running on fumes, and they're going to continue to run on fumes. Why, you ask? Because as a trained salesman, I know once people buy the house, what's it become? All about the house. You put so much pressure to buy the house, the last thing you want to do is you'll give up everything. You'll run on credit cards. You'll cancel subscriptions. You'll eat top ramen, but not the house. Until ultimately acceptance sets in. And you accept the fact there's no saving this thing. But people will try. People will try. This is going to be this is the symptom of the byproduct of what happens when you overstimulate not only the economy, the biggest asset class in the world. Let me repeat. The U.S. housing market is the biggest asset class in the world. It has the capability of not only crashing the U.S. economy, the global economy. The ripple effect will be massive. Why, you ask? Well, I'm about to tell you again. Because we have foreign investors now in these markets. They're going to take a backup. They already are. They already are. So when I see a report that Google's now doing their round of layoffs, and I already know Amazon just did theirs, and Microsoft comes alongside and says, we're doing ours too, and we're just scratching the surface. Wells Fargo doing layoffs and suspending mortgage loans. Do you think this is a sign of an economy or a housing market that's going to go up? It's not even going to flatline. This goes one direction. We've talked about this. It doesn't take a rocket scientist to figure this out. What goes up must come down. We've always had, over history, booms and busts. And we just went through a boom cycle, and people suffered from the wealth effect. And I said suffered because that's in fact what they did. They suffered from it. They went out and spent differently than they would have had this never happened. They were spent foolishly. And we all suffered from a little bit of that, I'm sure. But at what degree? Now, most people at this channel played it safe, cautious, got on the sidelines, sold at the height, dumping properties now. Whatever they can do, because they see the writing on the wall. But many people don't, friends. And the people that just got laid off in mass waves, that's a big chunk of layoffs. That is enough to have a massive effect on the housing market. And I predict it's going to do exactly that. In final thoughts, I come to you as a friend, as a content creator. Somebody wants to see you not only win in real estate, win in life. Understanding the biggest artificially created housing bubble and economic stimulus era is having its blowback in hundreds of thousands of white-collar wage earners just lost their job. Their savings is gone. Their debt. They're living on credit cards. They're running on fumes. The clock is ticking for them. And a big chunk, the majority of these people, drank the economic Kool-Aid, from the company to their employees to the real estate professionals that sold them those houses in the height. Everybody's about to take a walk down memory lane. We're going to go back to what we saw in 2008. It'll be different this time, but there'll be a lot of similarities. This one, in fact, could be worse. I'm going to continue to blow the lid off it every step of the way, because it's not only what we need, it's in fact what we deserve. If you appreciate the content, I want to humbly ask you to give the video a like, subscribe to the channel, leave a comment below. I would love to hear from you. Social media links in the description of this video if you'd like to contact me there, along with links to channels I've appeared on I think you might enjoy. If you need help buying or selling real estate here in America, I have the biggest network of top-rated agents in the nation ready to assist you. It'd be our honor and our privilege to do so. Email in the description for you as well. Also, if you're watching from your television set today and you enjoyed this video, I think you're really going to love the next video coming into your screen, and there's an easy subscribe icon for your convenience. As always, thank you for your time. Please go make it count today. I'll see you on the next video.